Am I tripping? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my gosh.
Now, will Tag go ahead and grade fixed Pokemon cards? And I'm not just talking about fixed Pokemon cards. I guess I'm talking more about the restoration cards. We're talking about cards where people go ahead and do the neat little tricks with the pressing and humidifying and go ahead and they go ahead and fix cards or restore them to a better condition so they can get graded and get a higher price. Now, honestly, the only reason why I kind of want to talk about this today because I do think that this is going to be a very big thing coming up in the future in this hobby, especially since it's starting to get a lot of traction. I mean, more and more times where I think I've seen it more in my TikTok algorithm or even on Instagram, and it makes sense. We're having more people come into the hobby. There's more money being pumped into this hobby, and it's getting extremely popular. Where, look, let's admit it, their Pokemon packs can be extremely expensive. So after spending so much money, because some of us are extremely smart or dumb, whatever you want to think about it, some of us are extremely dumb buying Pokemon packs, ripping them, and trying to pull the chase card whenever you can go ahead and buy them separately through the singles, which I think it's a better financial move. Hey, but to each their own. Everyone's going to enjoy their hobby for in their own ways, right? But Pokemon packs are expensive. Like I know family, I know friends who go ahead and rip Pokemon cards with their kids, and now you got two dumbasses in this thing. You have the kid who like gets excited by ripping open the pack, and we see it. The little kid screams, "Oh, it's Charizard!" Crazy, moves it around, and you and as an adult who is buying the packs, like, oh shit, don't mess up that card or it's gonna get dented. Next thing you know, the card dented the card. Sorry, the kid dented the card. So you have one dumbass there, and then you look at yourself. It's like, well, I bought the card and I let my kid enjoy this kid's hobby, so I'm the second dumbass, right? So you might want to go ahead and fix that card because maybe your son went ahead and pulled that card. Your daughter maybe went ahead and pulled that card. A loved one, you might be trying to share this hobby with your significant other, and like around, at least in my area, a lot of these people who are into this hobby are dating Latinas. And what do you get with Latinas? Well, you get those long nails with like Cheeto fingers who are the ripping packs. I don't know what they're doing, but maybe their nails can go ahead and pierce the cards. And now you all of a sudden you're down a couple $100 just because your girl pulled the card, but not fantastic. They went ahead and damaged the card. My last scenario is maybe you're trying to be the smart financial investor slash hobbyist, where you go to card vending shows, where you go to card shops and you look for the best available copy. You think you found it because you can see the centering is pretty good, right? But before you even ask the vendor to take out the card out of the sleeve so you can inspect it, there's a line behind you. You're looking at the $1 binders or $5 binders, and you're holding up the line for a small little purchase that maybe you fall into peer pressure and you go ahead and buy the card, and before you even fully inspect it, you get home, you look at the card, and all of a sudden you see the card is bent or dented or whatever, right? I do see restorations being an extremely important part of the hobby in the future. Now, do you think Tag will go ahead and grade those cards? Well, luckily, in this episode, or I guess in this video, we're going to be talking about one of my subscribers one of my subscribers collectors community spotlight, right, where we're going to be talking a couple of their cards where they saw that I talked about another subscriber's cards, the one with the vintage cards, and she's like, I want to be next, right? Her name is going to be Rocket Grunt Mandy. So Rocket Grunt Mandy hit me up on YouTube on my community post. Is like, hey, can you talk about my cards? I'm like, sure, cool. Send me the cards that you want me to talk about. She went ahead and sent me the list and the cards that her first submission that she graded with Tag, and honestly, pretty cool. Nothing too crazy. She was telling me that she did get a Van Gogh autographed by the female artist. I'm so sorry right now. It's after work, right? But the female voice artist from Ask Ketchum. And unfortunately, Tag doesn't grade like autograph cards. So we're not gonna go ahead and talk about that card today. But the card in question, or one of the cards in questions that we're gonna go ahead and talk about, is gonna be her Pikachu. She went ahead and got the Pikachu, the Scarlet and Violet promo card. Now, whenever someone shows me that card, I can see this card as a good collection piece because this is Pikachu with the Generation 9 starters. So it's a good potential collection piece with good long term investment possibilities, right? Gen 9 might not necessarily be the strongest generation at the moment, but it could age very well, especially with the younger demographic. Pikachu being Pikachu, it is a promotional card. There's a lot of good things going for this card that a collector might want to go ahead and grab it. As a reseller, there's also a lot of good things about this card that you might want to go ahead and grab this card, go ahead and resell it because I believe it has something like around a 48% gem rate, um, where a raw card at the moment is going for around $16, and then you can go ahead and turn it and flip it for around 150, depending on the time, right? So it's a good collector card. It can be a good investment card. It can be a good reselling card. But she went ahead and got that card among some of the other ones. And she went ahead and got it for grading, sent it for grading, and it came back. And look at this.
Am I tripping? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my gosh, they sent a card back. There's this card right here. Oh my god, what is that? No, what is this? Altered. Oh my god, this is the card that I was thinking might get a 9 because I was trying to fix it, and wow, it actually came back as altered.
Yeah. So her card didn't get graded. This tag went ahead and picked it up as altered, so it wasn't graded. And honestly, that's pretty crazy. Why? Well, why is it important? Look, like I said before, I'm gonna continue saying this. Like tag is getting more popular. More people are grading with tag for multiple different reasons. Now, for me as a collector, I'm gonna have a little bit of peace of mind knowing that these altered cards, these fixed restoration cards, whatever you want to call it, can get graded in a tag slab, or maybe they can, right? But if it's for some extreme, like some people who want to go ahead and fix their cards, well, now you know, probably maybe don't grade with tag. But then again, like right now, I'm basing my assumptions based on this one card. I really haven't done this for myself. And, if I look at other videos online, I'm gonna be looking at videos and it's gonna still raise flags because at the end of the day, you can put any narrative out there, and you won't know, right? That is just being skeptical. But her card didn't get graded, so what does it mean for? Why is it important? Well, it's good for the sense that whenever you're collecting cards or grading cards through tag, then you know that your cards are good cards. They're real cards. If they're detecting alterations, modifications, or anything like that, then there's no reason why they wouldn't go ahead and detect like fake cards. It's showing that the AI system is very well. Now, if some of these cards are getting passed and they're grading, like Tag is going or grading them, then honestly, if tag if they're getting graded, if they're going through tag and they're getting graded, I wouldn't mind maybe cracking it and grading it through another subjective grading company, just most likely because it'll probably receive a higher grade than what it will from tag. But once again, tag's dig report will go ahead and give you the data, right? Whether if it's centered well, whether there's any other issues. um, they'll make you a better base decision, especially on the value of the card if you're grading through another company. So, I mean, it's important. I think it's going to be very important as tag keeps taking like a bigger share of the market, and it becomes the collector's choice for graded companies. Um, the other topic, the other thing that why I think it's going to be important is if people are going to be really putting all this time and effort in restoring cards, in fixing cards, then personally, if I was going to be sending my cards to get fixed through someone else, I would want to send through someone that can naturally or always beat tag with the restorations. So at least get it graded. Um, Whenever I talked to Rocket Grunt Mandy, she said that she humidified the card, but she feels like she personally didn't let the card dry long enough for this to happen. and that could be for multiple different reasons, right? Maybe she saw one of my videos, subscribed, and then she's like, oh shit, I need to go ahead and grade cards with tag right now. She bought her slots. She bought 10 slots. She had 9 solid cards, and on the 10th card she's like, I need to fix this card right now and send it by tomorrow. And maybe that's why the card didn't dry, or maybe she was testing something out. At the end of the day, her name is Rocket Grunt Mandy, so I don't completely trust her that she has good intentions in this Pokemon hobby. But now, is this the only card that we're going to be talking about? No, we're going to go ahead and talk about some of her other collection that did actually get graded, and it shows me what kind of person or what kind of collector Rocket Grunt Mandy could be. Now, for the 3 cards that I went ahead and picked, they're going to be all Generation 1 starters. And honestly, I think it's a fantastic time to keep talking about Generation 1 Pokemon, especially with the recent release of Fire Red and Leaf Green. Honestly, I'm having so much fun playing that game, even though I can maybe only play like 30 minutes a day. Look, so let's talk about her first card. Her first card, it's going to be from Generation 1, like I said. That's going to be an Exeggutor. Her Exeggutor came back as a tag 10. Now, this card was graded on the. This card sequentially was graded 101. It has the third highest grading, or that has the third highest grade in tag, but the reason why it's going to have the third, or it's tied for the third, is because this card has been mostly graded in the bolt feature, but not they haven't been graded with the 1000 point system. Now, honestly, with this card, I would probably also grade it with bulk, mostly for the fact that Exeggutor is a fairly popular Pokemon. It has a regional variant, and there's a good chance that down the road we're gonna get another full illustration rare Exeggutor card. So, I mean, honestly, there's also a possibility that we could possibly get a variant in a different game just because he's a palm tree. So, Exeggutor, I think this is more of a bulk card rather than a 1000 point system. But third, her copy is tied for the third highest grade. Now, whenever we're looking at her card, her centering is going to be 51 on the left, 49 on the right, 48 on the top, 52 on the bottom. Now, the raw value of this card at the moment is going for around $3. And if you get a 10, it goes for around 57. So, not much upside. It is a very strong looking card. Like, I like the colors, I like the way it looks. Exeggutor, you can't really go wrong with Exeggutor, especially since we got Execute already, the full art illustration and Exeggutor. I know people who are doing a full illustration rare or art rare Pokédex entry for the 151, and with Exeggutor and Executor and Execute having full illustration rare cards, you knocked out that Pokédex entry, and that's pretty cool. Now, her second card, this card I want to take a little bit more time to talk about, and that's going to be the Bulbasaur from the Mega Base. Her Bulbasaur copy came back as a 10. It was graded in the 456 spot, so you can see it's getting a good amount of grading, and her copy tied for the 36th highest grade. Once again, this is going to be a bulk graded card because she did not get the 1000 point system. Now, when it comes to Bulbasaur and this card particular, should you grade this card bulk or should you grade this card with the 1000 point system? I would say go bulk. Why? Well, in the Scarlet and Violet era, and even right now going to Mega Evolutions, we've gotten a total of 3 Bulbasaurs. We're talking about a Bulbasaur in the 151. We are talking about a Bulbasaur. Oh, no, actually 4. 151 Bulbasaur. We're talking about a Stellar Miracle Bulbasaur. We're talking about this Bulbasaur, and the last and final Bulbasaur that we've gotten the Bulbasaur for the 30th celebration, the first partner packs. So there's a lot of different Bulbasaurs out there. One thing that also kind of hurts this Bulbasaur is that it's the base Bulbasaur. If it had the box topper stamp, that would be even better. But overall, like, I'm not bashing on her. This is a strong Bulbasaur card. The art looks fantastic on the slab, right? But for resale value, it is probably not the best Bulbasaur out there, but it's not bad. So maybe this card is kind of leading me more for collecting. Maybe Rocket Grunt Mandy is more of a collector rather than a reseller. Now, looking into her card, her copy, her centering wasn't even close of becoming like a pristine 10. Because her centering, 53 on the left, 47 on the right, 47 on the top, 53 on the bottom. So nothing too crazy. This card does have a raw value for around $21, and if you manage to hit a 810, well then you're pushing around 120. But overall, not a bad piece for your guys' collection, right? Now, oh, it also has a 55% gem rate through tag. So honestly, it's not too bad. A little bit more than half. So if you have a copy, if you pulled a copy and it has strong centering and everything, maybe consider sending it for grading. Whether if you want to do bulk or the 1,000 point system, that is going to be completely up to you. Now, for the last and final card. Now, for the last and final card that she told me that she wanted me to talk about, which is an interesting choice, right? It's gonna be this tag one Giovanni's Nidoqueen from Gym Challenge. It's gonna be a vintage card. She told me that her younger brother sent this card for grading, and it's a tag one. And honestly, whenever I'm looking at her collection, this could possibly be my favorite piece of the collection of the grading submission because it has a story. Like honestly, it's not a hollow card. I don't believe you could get this card in the hollow variant in Gym Challenge, right? Nidoqueen always kind of misses out on some love. Nidoking has come out multiple times right now in the Scarlet and Violet era on 151 and then on Distant Rivals, but I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out again for the 30th anniversary set or something. Who knows? Nidoqueen doesn't get that much love. Now, for her little brother's condition card, there's only two cards that have been graded, and obviously this one's going to be the lowest graded card. Now, it has a lot of character. If you guys look at the dig reports on the link, like on the description, I'm going to post the dig reports for all three cards. You're guys going to see that, yeah, this card was bad. Honestly, whenever we're looking at cards like this, I would love to see the 1,000 point system so I can see how low that card could get. Honestly, that's kind of insane. And I kind of want to have a collection on one of my favorite Pokemon cards going from tag 1 to pristine tag 10. So seeing information like this could be very beneficial for my personal collection, but I haven't decided on which kind of card I would try to attempt to do that, you know. But a tag 1 Giovanni Nidoqueen non-hollow regular vintage card. If you look at the dig report, we're going to see that has a 50-50 left and right centering, 51 top, 49 bottom there. So if it wasn't as messed up as it was, this card had the centering, the potential for a pristine 10, right? The raw value of this card is $12 and be fine. And after you grade it with tag, the raw value of this card increases to priceless. Honestly, it's a personal piece collection. Who knows why the brother decided, hey, this is the card I want to set for grading. We don't know why. Um, Maybe it's a story made up by Mandy to see how much of like the tag systems pick up, right? But honestly, that's my favorite piece of the collection. If I was gonna rate her first submission and the cards that she wanted me to talk about from a tag 1 to a tag 10 or tag pristine 10, I would rate this collection or this submission a 5. Why? Well, here's the thing. It is Gen 1 Pokemon, but I personally feel like Bulbasaur has a strong possibility of getting another card in the Mega Evolution era, right, on the 30th anniversary. Same thing for Exeggutor and Nidoqueen. Now, my favorite card of this set is going to be the Giovanni's Nidoqueen because a tag one, like, a lot of people wouldn't spend money on a piece of shit card, but someone did. And honestly, I think that's what collectors should embrace a tag about. Like, it's going to give you the best display for your cards. The card is going to look great, and it's also going to give you information. But your collection at the end of the day shouldn't just reflect monetary value. It should reflect style, nostalgia. It should reflect memories. It should be a representation of you. And I feel like that Giovanni's Nidoqueen possibly could be, as Exeggutor and and the Bulbasaur were fairly recent new cards. You know, it tells me that this could potentially be a new collector, right? I'm not making assumptions, but potentially be a new collector. But overall, they had pretty good gem rates. Not a crazy flip around like profit margins. So, you know, I don't think that Rocket Grunt Mandy is a reseller or a scalper per se, but it's like I understand that this card is kind of beat up. Wouldn't you want to try to fix the Nidoqueens and the Giovanni's Nidoqueen to see how much you can personally fix? Or you didn't bother because it's not a hollow, because it doesn't have a high value report. So it's still kind of questionable. But aside from that, honestly, I do have a lot of fun looking at my subscribers' cards that they grade through tag. If you have cards, it doesn't just have to be Pokemon. It could be One Piece, it could be Dragon Ball. But if you have cards that you have graded through tag and you want me to talk about them, please go ahead and like and subscribe. But most importantly, whenever I'm going to be talking about the next person's cards, go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know, and maybe I can go ahead and pick you, and we can go ahead and talk about your cards. But outside from that, remember, like just like last time, you guys are not perfect, right? You guys are pack fresh, a tag A kind of person, and that is okay. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Peace.